Thank you very much for watching this video. Before we begin, I wanted to include a disclaimer, as I include in my about section as well as in the description of this video. All of my readings are for entertainment purposes only. They are never, ever meant to diagnose, treat, or otherwise have any influence upon your own medical issues or situations that you may have. I always encourage everyone to make their own sound decisions, including legal matters, financial matters, and every other matter in your own life. These are for entertainment purposes only. As these are general tea leaf readings, again, it makes sense, therefore, that some of this information will resonate with you and some of it may not. You may find that some applies and some doesn't. That is completely normal and to be expected, as these are general tea leaf readings. So again, take what you will and leave what you don't, and simply enjoy your reading and hope that you find it informative and insightful. Thank you. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah and this is a general bi-weekly tea leaf reading for the weeks of December 12th and 19th, 2022. See what the universe would like us to know for the next 2 weeks. We're definitely in for quite an interesting time. I know they say that every week. However, for the next 2 weeks, it does appear to be that things are generally overall much calmer and clearer. It does begin quite busily. I counted 7 different events or situations taking place, and as a general overall looking further into the week, there are 3 smaller events and situations occurring for the next 2 weeks. However, we do have 1 main event or situation also taking place. Whenever I see layouts similar to this, I always say to my clients, perhaps use their time wisely. This means that we're going to be able to focus on what we need to focus on, and we really won't be pulled in too many different directions, unlike the past 2 weeks. I don't know about you, but that was certainly the case for me. In last week's video, you will have seen something similar in terms of the main event or situation and how it is presented and how the leaves are placed. Here we have something very similar to how it was previously, where we have a smaller event or situation that's part of the main event, but it's also separate. So we will be seeing this within a few days of this week starting, and continues until the end of next week. There are some things taking place with it. It is active in and of itself. However, generally speaking, it's something that's quieter and calmer and less chaotic or busy as compared to the rest of the main event or situation. And to show you, we do have this one other event taking place here and 2 others here and here. So again, in comparison to last week's tea leaf reading, it's a lot quieter, it's much calmer. So I would say that after the past couple of weeks, we can take a little bit of a breather and focus on this main event or situation. New beginnings abound with this main event or situation. They are seemingly small when they do take place at the start of this week, as well as stability, even if it is a little unconventional. And we're also receiving something very good. There's also a balance of giving and receiving. I will only say this once to avoid repeating myself. However, it does appear to me that throughout this main event or situation, there is a fair amount of conversations, discussions, thinking, and ideas taking place. In other words, lots of thoughts and words, lots of activity all at once. There may be some surprises. However, generally speaking, we do fairly know where we stand with things. There are lots of details being presented. I have zoomed in, so hopefully you can see this fairly well. Right here at the beginning of the week, we do have an individual who is sitting. It's very small, but they are sitting, almost as if they are sitting in meditation, maybe even prayer. So taking time out for yourself is absolutely being indicated. And also this is likewise a time of self-reflection and going inward, maybe doing some reading, some study, some personal study, enlightenment, going inward, maybe doing some inner work, whatever way or shape or form that may be, whether it's shadow work, learning about esoteric knowledge, whatever the case is, but it's learning about yourself, learning about who you are, doing some meditation as well. And quiet time for yourself, some self-care. This may also be specifically in regards to a partnership. However, this also could very well be indicating like you're seriously thinking of moving. If that is the case, it makes sense why you would be going inward. If you are thinking of moving or buying a property, this is indicating you going inside yourself, debating, is this the right thing to do? Really trusting yourself, really trusting your intuition. As far as I am concerned, in my own opinion, we all are intuitive and psychic. We're all mediums. It's just a matter of awareness and if you choose to pursue it. So people with the letters E and C in their name. And it's a new opportunity. It's one of the new opportunities that presents itself at the beginning of the week. Again, there's a lot of self-study, inner work, personal study, doing inner work, learning about yourself, learning about esoteric knowledge, gaining wisdom and knowledge. You can see someone holding a book here. I've seen it twice now in the same vicinity. There's some kind of retrospective feeling or association at the beginning of the week. We're really doing some self-reflection, which I think is always a good thing anyway, and especially at this time of year, it's a good time to sort of go inward and think about how your year has been and what you want to maybe do next year that you haven't done yet. I think we're all sort of going with that in ourselves, and there's a lot of nostalgia associated with this time of year as well, obviously. And winter obviously is a good time for going inward because, well, we're in the areas of the world where it's cold anyway because we are inside most of the time. Being reassurance is also being indicated. So specifically, if you are thinking of moving a house or property or buying a property, it looks like it is a promising thing to do, and at this time there may be some computer work that you may be embarking upon or maybe doing. Also near the beginning of the week, we have a Libran connection. This is likely someone who is Libran, and they have a letter L in their name. And with them, again, there is this sense of further learning, wisdom, and knowledge. For the sake of not sounding repetitive, I'm only going to say this once throughout this event or situation. There are multiple happy faces. So whatever this is pertaining to, we are happy as the situation unfolds. I don't know how well it's going to show with this angle. However, we do have an outline of a bunny. So there is some kind of creativity, possibly even a pregnancy, but there is some kind of partnership that is involved in this scenario near the beginning of the week. Creativity, productivity, creating something new, a creative project of some kind, and that involves unification, two people coming together. This involves two people, places, or things with the letter J and E in the name. I am actually seeing the letters J and E together in the same scenario twice. There may also be the letter C and number 3. The Libran connection I just mentioned a moment ago has a letter P involved. The creative project that I just mentioned a moment ago as well involves independent thought, some kind of unique independence, and very much a balanced partnership. There's a unique, interesting, and different partnership. It's balanced, fairly evenly matched. There may be either an American connection or a spiritual element involved with that in some way, shape, or form. This involves two individuals. There's close communication between them. They may be communicating by electronic means, like they may not be right in front of each other in the same room. However, they do communicate quite regularly. They are in good communication, not feeling inhibited, really going for what we want, almost maybe even taking a leap of faith as well. Again, we have the number 3. There may be an Irish connection potentially as well. Here we have a scenario that involves the number 7, which you can see here, the letter L, as well as a Libran connection in the letter C. Also in this scenario, we have the letters E, S, J, and T involved. I'm trying a slightly different angle here, so pardon any shakiness from the camera. Earlier in this video, I had mentioned that there's a separate part or a section or event that takes place as this main event or situation unfolds. I'm actually going to revise that by saying that is the case for 2 events. We can see another area here where it is very similar information to this area over here to the right of the situation. So I'm going to say that there are going to be 2 side parts to it, 2 parts or aspects to this main event or situation which will be taking place that are slightly smaller or less significant, but are absolutely involved with this main event or scenario. The smaller one here that I just pointed out on the left does involve a young individual, likely a girl, maybe a Leo connection. This is definitely a young girl, and there is a forward movement, feeling uninhibited and going for exactly whatever it is that you want. But there is a young individual, or certainly young people or children involved. Wisdom and wise and knowledge, person, place, or thing with the letters I and N and C. You can see one of the letters C here. You can see the letter H here. See the number 7 here. And the letters I and N, tiny but present. Unconditional love, support, loyalty, commitment, partnerships, and companionships. You may even have a connection at some point in the next week or so regarding a dog. This may be an actual physical dog. it seems like we're really going to be feeling free, feeling really good, uninhibited. There's really nothing standing in our way, like pursuing our goals or our dreams, going for what it is that we want. Every week, if you watch any of the other tea leaf readings in this channel to date so far, many of them, especially recently, most of them have a connection regarding Aries. It keeps coming up video after video. Someone who is Aries or some kind of Aries connection. Now I'm actually quite excited about the base, so just keep that as a bit of a surprise until the end of this reading. So right now I'm going to go back up to the top of the cup. We're going to look at the 3 events or situations that I mentioned before. Then we're going to look at this line that we do see surrounding the sides of the cup, and then we'll head into the base. And there it is. I'm excited. I can't wait. Let's begin with this situation here. We can see, as mentioned before, it's fairly small, and it does begin as all of these 3 smaller situations appear. They all begin quite small, or rather insignificant. It takes place. However, they all start to expand and become more significant or clear as time progresses. Now let's proceed to the line that you can see which wraps around the cup. So starting over in this section, we have some more surprises. Throughout the section, I keep seeing references to 2 people specifically. 2 people are communicating. This could be yourself or someone else. Really, we are communicating somehow in some way, shape, or form another individual. But I keep seeing this repeated. There's about 2 or 3 instances here that I keep seeing of people communicating. It seems like it starts off by electronically. So communication by phone, email, text message, video call, whatever means that may be. Very shortly after that, there is like a physical unification coming together, meeting face to face together in the same room. Partnerships, very good communication. It looks like to be very happy. It involves some kind of partnership. Money is involved as well, and wisdom. Number 3, and the letters C and possibly E. And as I continue to look throughout this line, I see some other interesting qualities as well. This involves a new start, partnerships, loving harmoniousness, specifically partnerships and stability keep appearing. This blossoming, this fruition, and the letter M is like a reawakening or an awakening or fruition that takes place. I keep seeing it. This is so good, and I have not seen these references in so long. It really seems like individually or collectively as a whole, humanity, there is this sense of awakening, of coming into our own self-realization almost of who we really are. That can take different meanings depending on whatever your circumstances are. But again, it's a good thing. And now into the base. We definitely have some surprises awaiting us. Look into next weekend and the week following that. This entire scenario, this entire event or situation here is one big surprise. It contains many different things. This includes multiple partnerships, places or things with the letter T that's involved, reassurance, helpful people that are involved. The letter R, again, letter T keeps appearing almost every single week. It's appearing very clearly in here as well. A new beginning, a new start of some kind. And remember what I mentioned just a few minutes ago about the Cancerian connection? There's a sense of nurturing throughout this cup, so it's a good message to have. The numbers 3 and 4 repeated a few times, which I find very intriguing. And again, I'm not a numerologist, and they can have many different meanings. I'm just going to say the number in case it makes sense to you as time unfolds. A real sense of vitality, going for whatever it is that you want to have. Life force, vitality, not being held back, no inhibition. And I keep seeing references to all of this as 2 weeks unfold. The letter J, abundance and prosperity. There may be also a Leo connection, some kind of inheritance or legacy or a family connection. And I say that because we do have a crown here. So that can be something that may be inherited or just simply a family connection of some kind. That does not have a negative connotation necessarily. It does not mean that someone is passing away. It can mean like a spiritual inheritance, that we are realizing our true divine heritage, and that we are receiving some kind of divine inheritance of who you are as a soul, who we are as a collective, as humanity. Many different meanings. So I just don't want anyone to ever think that when I say inheritance, that it is a bad thing. I just mean that there is some kind of inheriting or receiving of something really good. It's a really good, loving scenario. We have reassurance It's also really great to hear, so there's nothing to really worry about at all. The letter S keeps appearing a few times. Companionship, we saw that before, referenced by a little dog earlier in the cup. So companionship, love, devotion, loyalty, protection, guardianship. The letters T and Y, and this blossoming coming into our own keeps appearing. Again, no numerologist saying that in case it makes sense to you. The number 8 can represent abundance. Another Canadian connection, I'd like to know what this is, as well as a unique sense of stability. And this may have literally a water connection. Boating, boats, some kind of seafaring, oceanic connection may be involved, but it's like literally we are anchoring ourselves or grounding ourselves into maybe the new reality, who we are, many different meanings, but there is a sense of grounding and coming into our own and anchoring ourselves. So with all of that barrage of information, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much again for watching this week's video. I truly do appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to watch my content, and I truly do hope that you find it to be interesting and informative and maybe even a little bit inspiring and helpful. So have an amazing 2 weeks. We are definitely in the throes now of the holiday season, the Christmas season. So hope that you're keeping your own self-care a high and top priority as you go about all of your holiday preparations. So take good care of yourselves. I will check back in the next couple of weeks, posting on TikTok imminently. Keep checking, and have an amazing couple weeks and an even better weekend and an even better week after that. And until then, I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.